Thank you to Felix for this video idea. My never-ending pursuit of extremely monotonous tasks to make stupid YouTube videos about continues. In this one, we're gonna see how long it takes for a single red rose to spread its offspring across the entire surface of this now flattened island. We've all had a series of rainy days on our island that pretty quickly leads to your flowers breeding out of control, and without proper maintenance, they can slowly spread across all areas of your island, making for a time-consuming cleanup effort. This, combined with the fact that there's no way to store full flowers in this game, why, Nintendo, why, means that flowers can be considered more of weeds in this game than actual weeds. But let's embrace this Habsburg-esque cycle and see how long it takes for one singular flower to clone and then breed itself into a field of beautiful roses. Now, you might be mistaken into thinking that you need 2 flowers to start this challenge, but that's not the case. A single flower can clone themselves. These clones will start the process of breeding, where ideally it'll get out of control pretty quickly. Like I've said, I've already leveled and cleared out this entire island so that no trees or other flowers will be in our way. I also tried to fit as many homes onto the beach as possible, but sadly we have 2 houses that I cannot fit. So the island won't be 100% overrun with flowers, rather only 98%. Sue me. Here's the villager lineup, by the way. All random move-ins. Not great, not terrible. 6 out of 10, I would say. So we're starting on July 11th. This will be day 1 of the challenge. I will water every flower that I can every single day and update you with our progress as we go. It'll be slow going at first, but once we get more flowers, I think it'll ramp up nicely. I don't predict we'll get a clone very quickly, but I would love to be proven wrong. Here we go. Okay, so it's 9 days later on the 20th of July, and you might have noticed no clones so far. Unfortunate, but you'll also notice that it's raining. While rain will always be helpful for this challenge, it'll be borderline necessary as our field of flowers becomes more time-consuming for me to water every day. Right now, I'm only watering a single flower still, but months down the line, I'll have to do some rain dances, I assure you. Regardless, I'll bring you back once this first rose has finally cloned itself. And 4 days later, it's done just that. This is a huge step 1 to this challenge, done, as breeding is so much faster than cloning. It makes you wonder what kinds of flowers that we'll get while doing this challenge, since I found this rose on my island, and it didn't grow from a seed, meaning that I don't really know what these 2 red roses will make with its unknown genomes. But I'm interested in finding out. You two have fun now. The day after watering the 2 full-grown roses, a black rosebud appears. That's interesting because I was under the assumption that it would just make another red rose, so seeing this is interesting because I have no idea what these 3 will make. I'd love to see a full rainbow of colors across the island, but I think it'll probably end up looking like Shadow the Hedgehog if this keeps up. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. So no updates to share ever since I got my first 4 flowers, but I have been doing something very important in the background. Every day I've tracked my weather on Meteonook to predict when I will get rain. Now again, the rain isn't too useful when it takes me literally 3 seconds to water my current flowers, but it'll be very handy to know when rainy days are coming later on. Here's my weather seed. You can plug that in for yourself and see what the coming days will bring me. Our current day is August 2nd, 2021 for reference. Anyways, moving on. We've now doubled our flowers to 8 from when we checked in last. It's certainly coming along, albeit a little bit slower than I was expecting it to. It's worth noting as well that I never rearranged the flowers. What you see is where they spawned, and I think that that's part of the fun of the challenge, is seeing the natural spread of the horribly mutated inbred flowers. Day 42, and there's definitely a pattern developing in the breeding here. There's becoming a substantial amount of black roses versus red roses, and part of me is kind of worried that before too long it's going to be a dull, all-black rose landscape. Much in contrast to what I thought was going to be a bounty of color. So I hope my red boys can fight back the war against the black roses and re-establish its footprint on my island. Day 53 and the war continues. It seems to be a losing battle for the red team as they're now outnumbered 32-10 versus the black roses. We're at the start of September, and if this keeps up, I think we're going to have an all-black rose takeover by the start of October. Prove me wrong, Red. Prove me wrong. Day 59, I have now watered 500 total flowers. Yay. A huge development in the flower war as the new generation has joined the fight. The pink rose. Pink roses are often the product of red roses, so perhaps this is red's final chance to remain in this battle. It all started with one red rose. Don't let it end without one too. Sad to report that I have now watered 1,000 flowers on day 68. It's a shame that it couldn't wait another day, as that would have been nice. It's the start of October, and my prediction of a all-black takeover has not come to pass. Red is making a remarkable comeback in the upper left corner of our field, with a few more pinks popping up as well. The right side, though, is thoroughly dominated by the black rose, and I do not see that changing. Unless there's another type of hybrid that can come from breeding two black roses. I suppose there are gold roses that have a small chance of being born if it rains on top of two black roses, but unfortunately I don't think gold roses can breed, so they would just kind of be wasted space. Either way, I'll report back with progress, maybe after another month, or if something interesting happens before then. It's now day 100 of watering these flowers every single day. Nobody said it was going to be easy work, but it is definitely getting to be a big pain to water all these flowers every single day. Add to that, the progress really isn't as fast as I thought and hoped it would be. I suppose that's down to the fact that instead of planting these flowers in an orderly manner for max breeding efficiency, they're kind of grouped together to where only the outside flowers are even breeding. I don't even bother watering the inside groups of flowers anymore to save watering can durability. Rainy days are now more valuable than ever, and October and November are looking mighty dry on Meteonook. But we're not stopping. No way. I'm too far into this now. I've probably sunk about 5 hours worth of time traveling and watering into this, not accounting for the work that I did preparing the island for the challenge, so it's a drag, but I'll update again soon, maybe in a week, maybe in a month, maybe in another 100 days. It's the 1st of December now, and the extremely dry November is finally over. In the second half of the month, it did not rain a single time, meaning that I had to water our growing flower field every day for about 15 days straight. No real surprises to show in this update. The black roses are dominating the east and the south side, while a nice mix is over here in the west and the northern ends. The reds and the pinks are staying alive, but just barely. A fun idea I had during my ample free time while watering is to find the most northern, southern, eastern, and western points that my field has spread to and mark it on the map, just to give you a reference for how large this has gotten now. Here's where my first flower was planted, and here's where my most northern flower is at. My most eastern flower is here, my most southern here, and my most western is here. It goes to show you that while we've made a lot of progress so far, we are really not close to done. Luckily, December is packed with snow-filled days. Snow, of course, waters flowers just the same as rain does, so, lucky me. Anyway, see you next month. Day 192. I hate myself. It is now the 19th of January, 2022, and even though the winter months have blessed me with many snowfalls, this absolute pile of flowers is becoming a little too much to bear. Ozzy's house is all but lost to the flower takeover. We're reaching close to the northern shoreline with every waking day that goes by. I have purchased at least 50 watering cans if I had to guess, since I'm at the point now where even just one day of watering is enough to break an outdoorsy watering can from full durability. You're a sick person if you like watching a man waste his prime by watering flowers in an anthropomorphic animal simulator. That said, here's the 4 furthest points we've reached on the map: north, east, south, and west. It's hard for me to tell how far it's spread since last time, but it definitely feels like quite a ways, and yet, not much at all. I don't know how much willpower I have left to do this, but knowing you sickos, you're probably foaming at the mouth, demanding more. So, I'll be back in many more days. Oh yeah, I'm also, like, totally ghosting the HHA, so, at least that makes me happy. The snow is gone now, and spring returns. Sounds great, but with less days of precipitation, it's actually the worst thing ever. The flowers on the right side have pretty much reached the plaza by this point. The northernmost flowers are only a few spaces away from the northern coastline, and the neurons in my brain are only a few more days of watering away from withering up and dying. Disregarding that, though, I feel pretty confident in saying that at least half of the island is now covered in flowers by this point. And I think I'm gonna go until either my entire island is filled with flowers, or we hit the 1 year mark on July 11th, 2022. Whichever happens first. we'll see. May 1st, the flower army has now sufficiently swallowed the town hall. Olivia, despite no shortage of flowers to smell, still embraces the sweet scent of this particular flower. And we are so close to the flowers reaching the shores of the south, east, and west end of the island. They've already covered the north end completely. Tammy wants to move out, and I do not blame her in the slightest. Absolutely not. You will never leave this island. Let's have lots of fun together. No. Fun isn't something we do here. My next update will hopefully be my last, as this is getting ridiculous. I hope you're enjoying this, because I'm not. July 11th, or day 365 of this challenge. After 1 year of watering my flowers every single day, the product of our hard work is finally apparent. I've been counting down this day for a while, as I've made it quite clear my lack of desire to ever water another flower in this game ever again. But we've done it. And you know what? I think the results have turned out to be quite interesting. We touched the far end of the map on the south, west, and northern coastline. We were 1 flower short of reaching the east end, which I think can be blamed on the town hall eating a huge chunk of breeding space from the field. The red stripe that we saw appear pretty early has manifested its way all the way to the upper left corner, refusing to conform to the black rose takeover that has happened everywhere else on the island. It follows a pretty distinct line and does get a little bit interrupted with some black roses, but nonetheless proved me wrong when I said that the red and the pink roses will die out before this challenge is over. I also had to trim the weeds to make sure that they weren't interfering with the growth of the flowers. It's cool to think that all of this came from a single rose, and it'll be cool to see how the flower field has progressed from the start when I put this all together in editing. But yeah, that was a cool video idea. I hope you found it to be fun and interesting, and I'm sorry for the lack of uploads while I was making this, but yeah, this took a lot more time than I thought. Regardless, thanks so much for watching, and check out my Twitch channel for more Animal Crossing content, and also some sneak peeks of videos that I'm working on as a little reward for the people that join me live. I'm there 6 days a week at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Until next time, though, leave some more challenges for me to do in New Horizons in the comments section, and if I like your idea, then I'll shout you out, just like in this video. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.